You need it later on today, Colette, so you really need to start thinking about preserving things now because competition is coming up later.
Speaking of competition, the Challenger and the Charger are competing on the showroom floor and the drag strip. Of course, if you have a family, you probably want a Charger. 4 doors, room for 6, room for 5. Of course, the Challenger can also seat 5. Strange but true, I've sat in the back of these. They're not so bad, but again, 2 doors, so both of them Hellcat powered, which means 6.2 liters and 707 horsepower at least.
That's amazing that today's modern car can carry that much power from the factory. CAFE rules are met, DOT rules are met. Race these cars competitively on the drag strip with no roll cage because of the airbag and safety systems in them. NHRA has determined that some of them can compete without having to have the roll cage bolted in them.
It is so cool. They saw the light on that, I guess, because early on it was really a dilemma. You know, what do you do? And but speaking of cars that look fast but are, and cars that maybe don't, this Grand Prix, this white car here with the wire wheel covers.
Textbook sleeper.
Look at the rear tires. They're kind of wide.
Yeah,
and of course,
with hubcaps. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's actually reminiscent of a friend of mine, Mark Cicino, who has a long time raced a Grand Prix, Pontiac Grand Prix, of course, powered with an LS, but this is really kind of neat to see. The stance on it gives me concern as far as its drag race capability.
Yeah, will it transfer?
Will it transfer? It's sitting up kind of high with that tire in the back. Doesn't look like the front is going to give up much as far as transference. Yep. Left leg performance. Very, very cool car, but based on the way it's sitting, if you will, I didn't feel it being too quick, and I guess I know what I'm looking at sometimes, huh? We've got the Mayor's Showdown coming up soon, 1:55 p.m. Be sure to be in your seats and looking at your screens. We have the Mayor's Showdown coming at 1:55. The First Responders 2.0 at 2 o'clock. The Grudge Match, 4 o'clock. Be ready at 4. Later on at 6 or so, 6:30, the top 8 shootout between the small and big tire competitors.
Just had the modern Camaro take out the less modern Camaro right there. Of course, Gen 3 and 4 up on the line right now. Of course, that Plymouth Volare is back with the carbureted big block. We see the distributor on the front, that bright red distributor that tells us it's a big block, small block to be in the back. On the other side, of course, the Cobra emblem on the fender tells us that is a 4.6 Camry with a supercharger.
Early in the left lane.
440 Volare goes through, and of course the Direct Connection catalog back in the late 70s would sell you a kit to put a 440 in your Volare.
Taking a look at the Cobra there in the left lane, a little bit of a tire slip and then wiggle, let off the gas, straighten it out and coast it on through. That's the best choice every time, racers.
And Direct Connection is back, replacing Mopar Performance. And again, Direct Connection is the implication, of course, is that factory engineered parts you can't get anywhere else. They're validated, ready for you at your local Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler dealership, Mopar dealer. Direct Connection back in action.
2 trucks squaring off here on Wood. The S10 in the left lane. Thank God. Top end. S10 in the left lane takes the win.
The old school Dodge pickup truck. How cool is that with the roll bar built into the bed? Totally NHRA legal, but looking retro.
That's pretty neat.
Of course, the NHRA is the National Hot Rod Association. They kind of frown on street racing, and well, so do us, except for today. So do we. And this is, of course, a one-time-a-year deal. Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge, right here on Woodward Avenue in front of the M1 Concourse, which used to be where they built GMC truck and bus back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, up to the 80s, I believe.
As these things go, ladies and gentlemen, today, especially, I guess I could say our younger set that might participate in clandestine evening competitions, but Roadkill has established Mexico in Pontiac, Michigan. That's where we are. This is Mexico, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, quote unquote.
You look online and you see people talking about, yeah, I'm in Mexico. That's where we are.
Diplomatic immunity, of course.
Exactly, diplomatic immunity. That's where we're racing today, right here in Pontiac, Michigan on Woodward Avenue.
Little SN95 Mustang right there. We've seen the 4.6 liter on the side, so it's not a Cobra, but still some sort of a little mod motor under the hood, certainly. With all the EFI standalone system calling the shots to the spark plugs and the fuel injectors. Again, no carburetor here, of course.
If you look on your screen, the people seeing the shot there, Roxanne. I wonder who Roxanne might be. Paying tribute to a Roxanne on the Mustang, spinning the tire. She came on and she's running through pretty strong.
Clean pass.
Clean pass.
And Roxanne will not be turning on the red light here, as these are arm drop starts.
Right.
If you know your police songs. I'm dating myself.
For folks kind of, let's say, ballparking what could be going on here, especially when we get to our quick 8, to our top 8 big tire and small tire competitors. Again, this is not a full eighth mile that we're working with. It's very, very close to an eighth mile, just a shade under 660 feet. And when you look at some of these race cars that will be in those shootouts, you have to think that in the eighth mile, in the proper eighth mile, the small tire cars will probably be in the 5-second or so range. Or so seconds. Now, conversely, the big tire cars, because they have a bigger footprint on the ground, the tires have a bigger footprint on the ground, and a lot of them are bigger engine, etc. They're probably going to be your 4-second cars in the eighth mile in this event, in our made-up eighth mile, or just shy of an eighth mile. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at it. So when you think about it, or you see these cars at the drag strip and you're seeing them actually light the boards up, you know, you'll have cars like the 4-second ones here, or perceived 4 seconds. Those are actually 3 seconds.
Well, we'll take a quick break here on Woodward Avenue as the freight train prepares to roll on through, but we'll be back in just a few seconds with more from Woodward Avenue Roadkill Nights, brought to you, powered by Dodge.
I've sat here before for 10 minutes.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We changed the industry by formulating the first API-qualified 100% synthetic motor oil. The rest of the market has been trying to follow our lead ever since. But a head start is a head start. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Back again for the 18th year. Hot Rod Drag Week goes full throttle. Over 400 drivers face off over 5 days.
So many cool cars to see, and the venue is going to be amazing.
Join the ultimate drive and drag event and see who wins fastest street car in America.
Are you ready for this?
Hot Rod Drag Week. Go to hotrod.com/events for more.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Dallas September 7th through the 10th at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center, featuring 1,500 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, classics, and more. Broadcast live on Motor Trend TV and Motor Trend Plus. We welcome everyone to Dallas to bid in person, and enhanced online bidding and telephone options make it easy to join the Mecum experience from anywhere in the world. Register to bid now at mecum.com.
Heavy crime. Yeah. On the road again. We rescue a junkyard Chevy after sitting in the dirt for 4 decades. You guys know Aaron and Emily?
Ready to push her in?
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's missing lots of things, but overall, the ride's good.
Bad damn.
Everything we've tried has not worked.
Victory is mine. Now we talking just.
Now there's no fuel in the filter again.
To Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge, right here in beautiful Pontiac, Michigan. My kind of home turf, hometown. It's pretty good to be here. Now, this is also your home turf, hometown. I've got a couple of our friends from Dodge over here, Scott Kruger from Dodge Exterior. What was your title now?
Dodge Exterior.
Head of Dodge Exterior Design, and Jeff Gale, Chief of Interior Design. I nailed it this time. I'm so sorry, Scott. Well, you're going to get the first question now because I bombed that. All right, let's make up for this, and we're going to talk about this car behind us here, and I want to learn a little bit more about the exterior of this because this is a really cool car.
It is a good car. So behind us here we have the Challenger Hellcat Red-Eye Jailbreak. So what that means is basically you go from 710 to 797 to 807 horsepower. The vehicle here is like old school finish. The way we did this was it has an F8 green exterior, the wide body stripes that we have on it. We have the warp speed wheels with the satin carbon finish. So overall, the package just kind of has a bit of an old school feel to it. Some of the badge colors, so really the jailbreaks open up, they unlock all these finishes for the customer to order. Really mix and match. Really, they could be the kid in the candy store when they order a vehicle like this. So really excited about this one.
That's what's cool about it, though, because it really truly makes it your unique ride. So it's different than just rolling up to the dealership and picking out, a couple of the factory options.
Exactly. And really, that's what we want to be. I mean, it's like these vehicles are extremely special. It's one of the last vehicles we're going to do like this, so we want it to be something very special for the customers.
All right, Jeff, let's talk about the interior, because although the exterior is extremely important, the interior is equally important. So you guys have got a plethora of options on the interior for this car, too.
We do. There's a few different seat options you can get as far as colors go. So there's the demonic red that we have, this hammerhead gray that's new, that you see in the car behind us here. Of course, sepia, and of course, always tried and true black. Some options on the bezels, the floor mats. You can get different seatbelt colors in these. There's a lot of fun you can have with them. So you can see the matching hammerhead gray seatbelts in this one. But you can also get carbon fiber bezels, real carbon fiber bezels on the IP and the console, which are kind of fun. So we've had a good time with our color and trim studio and the interior studios working together to come up with some pretty cool, fun options to make every one of these unique, if you want it that way.
It makes it a one-of-a-kind ride. Okay, so carbon fiber headlight bezels. How much horsepower gains do you get from that?
Not sure how much carbon on the instrument panel bezels or not, but they look pretty good.
That's all that matters, right? Okay. Now, you guys obviously have to work together, although we have exterior design and interior design. There has to be some sort of collaborative level on these projects to really put out the best packages available to everybody.
Absolutely. We work hand in hand with Scott, so we have a good time with each other. A lot of times poking fun at each other, I think. The studios have an absolutely wonderful time, and some of the fruits of that labor are coming soon, so we're excited.
Oh, that's true. I mean, Jeff and I are connected at hip. I mean, his team, my team. We have fun. I mean, Dodge Design, we have the most fun. So
I feel like I need to keep my sunglasses on over here, and then when I talk to you, Jeff, I need to be. So we've got two different worlds here: exterior and interior. So we've got the 2022 Jailbreak Challenger behind us, but also over there, which you'll see on another shot, we've got the 2022 Charger. Now, very similar, but also very different.
Yeah, similar configuration, the way we did that, like Jeff said, there's all these different mixing and matching that you do. That vehicle has the frostbite blue on it. Same finish, wheel finish, the warp speed with the satin carbon. So we wanted these two to be kind of brothers that go together as a match. But once again, there's tons of different configurations you can do with these jailbreaks.
What about the interior differences between the two? Obviously, we're talking about two seats, a coupe style versus a sedan style.
Yeah, absolutely. There's either flavor, right? So if you want to take all your friends with you and be a little more comfortable in the four-door, easier in and out than the coupe, but the same options apply. So the same colors on the seats.
It's going to race. Oh, not these cars. We're talking about racing on Woodward. Okay, got it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys, are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you doing the intro or am I doing the intro?
I mean, here we are at the M1 Concourse at Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge, right? Something like that?
You're fired. Tamaraj, so good to see you again. Welcome back to Roadkill Nights.
It's great to be here.
You did good. See, was my intro better? I think maybe it was. All right, let's talk about this year. We've seen you here before. You've competed before, but this time around, you've got this beauty here, which looks like it has a lot of bedliner on it.
It's a lot of bedliner. So this started life as a 2008 Dodge Charger, and we turned it into a pickup truck / ute. And we also put every Hellcat demon thing that we could into it, so it makes 800-something horsepower, and hopefully goes down the track without going into a wall.
That is a good goal to work towards for the day. Yeah. So this is interesting because you've got the Charger going here, and then what happened?
So we removed most of the car, because a tree fell on it. So we decided to make lemonade out of lemons. So now it's much more practical. And if somebody breaks down, we could just like put all their parts in the back and then just take them home and sell them.
Okay, did the tree fall down prior to purchasing this car or under your ownership of said car?
So this actually isn't my car. This is my my partner Jared's car. He's actually going to be the one driving because I think, you know, it's a nice bookend to that story. He had this car for a very long time. It was actually the movie car from the movie Need for Speed. Yeah, so it was one of those cars used in the movie, and then a tree fell on it during like a freak hailstorm or something in Georgia, and then we decided to just cut the back end off and make it into a pickup truck.
I mean, what a good way to make use of a perfectly good vehicle minus the back end of it. Okay, let's talk about what's under the hood. Engine, transmission. This time around.
Well, the build process was a lot more difficult just because you'd think everything would kind of fit into place, but it doesn't because this car was never meant to have a Hellcat powertrain. But we got everything, the Hellcrate, Red Eye. We got the manual transmission. We had a shifter made, just completely custom, custom drive shaft. We have OEM Demon wheels. We have suspension, all that stuff. And all of it works, hopefully.
Hopefully. More horsepower, more torque. You really got to get the body dialed in for that. Okay. So we always got to do a little bit of, you know, smack talking before you guys race. So what's your outlook going into competing today?
So last year, you know how good I am at smack talk? Here's my... The other cars aren't going to be as fast as this one because this one's real fast. It's real fast, you know? And the other car's going to lose and this one's going to win. Is that good?
I feel like if the Care Bears had to do like smack talking, it might be something like that.
I'm keeping it family friendly here, you know? Otherwise I just go right over. Yeah, it's going to be... I think this car will do well. I think this car will do well.
Hey guys, can you put a rainbow in post like behind this interview too? All right, Tavares, you're awesome. So good luck out there. Good to see you again. And yeah.
Thank you.
Bring it.
Awesome.
We are back live on Woodward Avenue. KJ Jones here. Action continues. Pair of cars coming up, a Nova on the far side, that's the left lane. Late model Mustang on the right lane. I have a special guest sitting here with me. I want to introduce to the world, I guess, Mr. Mike Galimi. Longtime friend, actually, Mike Galimi, and now a co-worker, a colleague. Mike, welcome to the Motor Trend family. Why don't you let our crowd, our people know what you're doing, who you are, what you do.
Well, thanks. In more traditional sense, an editorial director, but with, now just all the content, video, print, digital, just all of the assets, working a lot with the studios, integrating the Hot Rod brand with all of Motor Trend's, linear TV channels and just pretty much all the content. Try and get involved with it.
And you've been at Roadkill Nights before, but sitting at Roadkill Nights now from this position, are you getting ideas right away for what you can do incorporating this program into Hot Rod more, one of the either the digital or the print magazine and stuff? Just how can you expand on this, kind of work at co-op between the event and actually the magazine property, expand on it?
Well, you have to build content being out there in the field and getting out there. Great folks in the industry and just mixing it up, seeing where the trends are, seeing what the hot builds are, and working one-on-one with our readers. And it's great to be out here and interacting with them one-on-one.
I have to share with the audience, of course, you're a long time friend from my home from New York. I've known Mike a long time. And, watching your growth in this industry has been, for me and for a lot of people that know you, really impressive. So I'm going to let you know, I've said this a couple of times, man, but I'm going to say it on a grand scale. I'm really proud of you and what you've done. I'm looking forward to really good and big things coming from you for Hot Rod. As far as back at home in Los Angeles, El Segundo in the shop, what do you have in store as far as working with Hot Rod Garage? It's a long time show legacy, and you've had the magazine and content legacy forever. but there hasn't been a real hard connect between the two. So is there any plan to engage the two a lot more than that?
Yeah, going forward, their build, Lucky and Alex are fantastic hosts and just working. They've got a lot of great stuff for next year, and just incorporating, we can do tech stories, we can do, report on their exploits and kind of give it from a different perspective, more so than just an episode.
Now, drag racing. We're here on Woodward Avenue in Motor Trend, of course, putting on Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge. Coming up, the biggest drag race of the year, Hot Rod Magazine Drag Week. It's going to be your first time in the big chair with drag.
It will be. I've done drag week several times, twice as a competitor with my friend Mike Javanis and his Mustang, and then once as a freelancer with John McGann and his team. So to come in, as part of leading the content team, I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite events of the year. Tom Bailey and his extraordinary efforts. Even the little guys, we see a lot of them out here that, they run pretty much all of like the Hot Rod branded style events. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and meeting new folks and telling their stories.
Now out here at Roadkill Nights, do you have a favorite yet? I've noticed a lot of cars make laps. Some impressive stuff, man. I mean, from where we're from, we've seen a lot of this action as it's happened now. Picture yourself back at home, middle of the night. What would you say is a car to contend with in the old days?
Oh,
in the old days.
The old days. Oh, I mean, you know me. I'm a Fox Body Mustang guy.
Right.
I always will be. And there's a lot of great ones out here that have come along. The first couple of runs, they kind of were learning the track, and now they're starting to really get after it. And I'm looking forward to that big tire shooter, even a small tire one. I mean,
small tire, both of them are going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Taylor's out here tuning that little RX-7, and that thing, I was standing top end, and man, that is wild coming through. Wheels coming off the ground. I mean, it's a blast to watch.
Well, the best seat in the house, people that are sitting in the grandstands right now, a lot of times, especially in the grudge race scene, that everybody's stacked up against the start line and everything, that seems like that's the place to be. And of course, there might be some wagering going on down there and everything. We both know that. But the best seat in the house at a drag race, and I'll always maintain, is top end. To see speed, to see cars come through. So whoever's down that way, don't leave your seats, because by the time that shootout starts, both small and big tire, you're going to see cars flying through this avenue. So don't move.
Yeah,
don't move.
I think they started picking the 8 fastest times for each group, and it sounds like it's going to be really close.
It's going to be
exciting. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, Mike, I'm so glad that you came and sat with me for a few minutes. Again, keep up the good work, dude. You're doing good things. Personally, I'm expecting good things from you, Mike. All right?
No pressure.
No pressure. Zero pressure. But I'm expecting good things from you. I know you'll do well. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks, KJ.
All right, buddy. Mike Delaney with us for a few minutes before we special. Parent challenge in the right lane gets there first. A lot of spray paint and home done graphics on that Challenger that just went through. I couldn't read what was going on. Next time it comes around, I'll try to see what things are being said on that car. Mustang and Challenger in burnout. As Steve says, a wide body Challenger. It's not a matter of Steve saying it is a wide body Challenger. But anyway, here comes the arm drop. Both cars leave together. Mustang in the left lane. Staying out front. Mustang clears the Challenger.
Looks like a Challenger versus Mustang. Classic pairing right here. SRT Hellcat, wide body in the far lane versus SN95. Fox 4, whatever you want to call it.
Fox 4. Boy, I haven't heard that. Formally, technically you are correct, but I haven't heard that term used in ages. And
I remember when these came out, Motor Trend did a whole expose on these, Motor Trend magazine. They even had like this prismatic cutaway on the cover when there's a yellow car and Ford was touting the Astro Fox, but we all know it as a Fox.
I tell you what, that Fox 4 moved out too. You see, it went around the Challenger and dropped the laundry at the top end. So again, as me and Mike were just discussing, some of this small tire action is going to be really, really good when we see who's actually selected, who's earned a spot into the top 8 field.
Look at that weight transfer as those cars come off the line. Small tire can definitely.
Here is the influencer, reigning champ, reigning grudge race champ, Alex Taylor. In her 55 Plymouth Savoy. We talked about it when Alex and Lucky came and sat with us for a little bit. The car was built in 30 days by Alex and her dad and their friend Greg. I believe it's Greg Peterson. Helped them out with it. Lucky was in on his Hot Rod Garage. Really a cool car. Let's see how it goes. Moving around a little bit at top end, actually moving around a lot at top end. But that car was flying. I think there might be a couple of things based on what they just saw. Alex Taylor, I know her dad was looking at the car and how it was moving. They might have it in the air by the time she gets back and make a few changes on the bars underneath it or something. Or maybe just a shock change, but it was moving pretty aggressively by the time she got into third gear. So they'll probably try to quiet that down and straighten it out a little bit.
When you say shock change, you're talking about bounce and rebound resistance, right?
Correct. Compression and rebound and compression, Steve. Not actually taking shocks out and changing them, but making adjustments based on compression and rebound.
With a knob or a wrench, I guess, depending on what you
Probably a knob with that car. They're probably up in the...
Here's a bird's eye view of the M1 Concourse with the Dodge Thrill Rides, Woodward Avenue, all of it on display. And what a fantastic thing this is. I think, 100,000 spectators, something like that today. And again, the 7th year, this thing started out at the Pontiac Silverdome, kind of a mild little event. Who knew it would explode into what we have here? What a fantastic thing. This is like a Woodstock of drag racing, but only in one day. No Max Jager's farm involved. Again, the M1 Concourse was once the home of GM Truck and Bus, where they built city buses and certain GMC pickups and whatnot. But now it's a very exclusive and exotic road race course and a cool little place to play with your race car right down the street from downtown Detroit. Great place, M1 Concourse.
Definitely, Steve. I've been here not only for Roadkill Nights. There are a couple of programs that a few aftermarket manufacturers have had on the truck side and gone around this course. I believe it's a 1.5 mile road course, small road course, of course. But it's really, really pretty neat. And then the garages and the pit area, the paddock area that I guess they're members maybe that purchase these facilities and build them out the way to their liking and store their cars in them and have an area to have social time. I mean, it's the ultimate, I gotta go there. It's the ultimate man cave for sure. It might be a woman cave too, but it's the ultimate man cave. Trust and believe that.
The peoplehood of muscle.
Yeah.
I gotta say, some of those are like car condos with showers,
Absolutely.
2 floors.
Absolutely.
I would almost dare say a chef is on hand at times, but yeah, this is cool.
Tim Kuniskis is the man at Dodge, okay? Just for the record, so people who don't know, he is the top dog at Dodge, and we have him in an interview right now that we're going to take a look at.
Here with a very familiar face, I feel like I run into often in Metro Detroit, but mostly at your favoriteest and one of my most favoriteest events here. Tim Kuniskis, Dodge brand CEO. So good to see you again year after year.
Good seeing you. Thanks for coming. This is my favorite day of the year.
I mean, how could it not be? You know, this is kind of your brainchild, right? This is an event that you've been producing year after year after year. This is the 7th year for Roadkill Nights?
It's the 8th year, 7th event. We did have to take off 1 year for COVID, but it's kind of crazy if you think about where this came from. The first year we did it, we were at the Pontiac Silverdome. And it was literally a run what you brung type event. I mean, there was potholes. It was really sketchy. And it's grown from that. That was 10,000 people. It's grown from that into this, 50,000 people, 1 million people on the live stream. And it wasn't because we drove this. It was this fan base that just every year was, please tell me you're going to do it again. What are you doing now? Make it bigger, make it bigger. I want to plan my vacation around it. So we just kind of came along with them.
We were just chatting about Michigan pride, okay? I feel like if you had a drag race event, open, street legal racing in any other state, it wouldn't be the same. Michiganders truly take pride in their cars, and this event shows that.
The quality of the cars out here and the speed of these cars is just unbelievable. When we started doing this, we put up big prize money. Today there's $30,000 on the line, but I'll tell you, if you talk to the fastest guys out here, it has nothing to do with the money. This is bragging rights. This is coming to Woodward Avenue and being the fastest car out here. I think they would donate the money just to win this.
And then showing up to every club weeks after, not only saying that you raced here, but that you maybe placed or even better, you won.
Yeah, the street cred's huge. And by the way, that's also why we don't give any ETs nothing, because they don't want to share that.
I love it. So what's cool about this event is not only that it's, well, one of the best events of the summer, in my opinion. I'm a little bit partial. But it also kind of kicks off things for Woodward Dream Cruise Week. And you, with Dodge, have a really big week coming up this week. There's a lot going on, a lot of unveilings as well.
So we call this our Speed Week. You know, it's 2 bookends. First weekend right now, we have Roadkill Nights. The next weekend, we had Woodward Dream Cruise. In the middle, during that week, we also have very special events. This year, we have an unveiling on Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, right here on Woodward. Very atypical auto show. We're not going to an auto show. We're coming here, and we're opening it up to the public. So the fans can come and see our unveilings live at street level, right on Woodward. We're having bands, we're having bars, and we're showing new cars. Can't get any better. Monday night, we're showing all the direct connection stuff, all the stuff for the current cars. Tuesday night, we unveil a brand new subcompact Dodge. And then Wednesday, we're unveiling the future of American muscle.
Okay, so a lot for enthusiasts to look forward to it this coming week.
Every night, we got something going on for the enthusiasts.
Okay, so you said it's open to the public. How can people find out more about getting here? How can they show up?
Go to DodgeGarage.com.
Fantastic, I love that. Okay, let's talk about today. We know about Speed Week and what's to come, but what's in store for today? Racing is underway. We've got some grudge match action going on, a lot of direct connection parts out there.
So obviously we have the big tire and small tire. That's always a big draw. But the other draw is the grudge match. Last year we decided to do a grudge match where we had some influencers build a car and we gave them a challenger. And they had to build within very defined rules. This year we said, let's open up the rule book and let's just give them a budget to build anything they want. So we've got everything from a Challenger to a Viper to a Magnum out here that these guys built. But they had one rule. They had to use one of our direct connection crate engines. So they all have red-eye crate engines in them. None of them are stock though. They're all well over 1,000 horsepower. But we knew it was going to get dicey. Because if you look at what the key to winning is here, it's all traction. So we knew they were all going to come with a big tire car. So we said, let's really throw them for a loop.
We can't be mad. We can't be mad.
That never gets old. That never gets old. So this year, we made them all run manual transmissions. So as hard as it is to launch a car on an unprepped street, throw a manual in 1,000 horsepower, it's going to be fun.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that because I really do feel like you guys kind of put it in the hands of the builders this time around with the availability of any car and then the little wrench in their gear with the manual transmission.
Yep, I think it's really going to show how creative they got on the things that they built. And I think the key is really going to be, the real equalizer is going to be that transmission. Because they all came back and said, hey, is there any limit on horsepower? No. Is there any limit on tire? No. But the limiter is going to be what's in the middle of the car, the transmission. So that's going to be the equalizer. We'll see.
We know it's not just about the car, too. It's going to come down to how well they drive it as well.
That's the whole idea. We're going to see who can launch on an unprepped surface.
All right, so we've got some exciting things to come. Tim, always great chatting with you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to let you enjoy what's going on behind me because I feel like that's pretty amazing, and that's why we're all here. Thanks so much for your time. It's appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
And of course, that's Tim Kuniskis, the CEO of Dodge Stellantis. Now, Detroit is full of auto executives. However, Kuniskis is the real deal. He actually began as a Dodge service tech. And yeah, truth be told, he street raced a 5-liter Mustang. He told me that way back when. So he's the real deal, and he's really the reason why Dodge is really pulling out the stops and just going for it, having fun and building fun cars and showing on the showroom floor and sales. They're strong.
I appreciate that part of Tim's story as well, Steve. You know, you think about the CAP program that they have. That's inspiration that someone that comes through the CAP program, as I said earlier, become a technician, you know, maybe work your way through the dealership side of it into the corporate side of it, just as Tim did. I mean, he's the boss, man. You know, but he started, you know, as a popular Drake song, he started at the bottom, now he's here. So that's incentive for anybody that wants to get into this game, especially on the Dodge side. You go through CAP and work your way through.
And CAP stands for Career Automotive Program from Mopar. And again, tomorrow's mechanics today, as Tim Kuniskis was. So you start with CAP, maybe you'll be the head of Dodge Stellantis in another 20 years. You never know.
Exactly. Another pair of cars, two Chargers going down. I don't think we've seen Chargers paired yet.
Yeah, that's the first pairing. Wide body, of course. The wide body started with Demon, but now has trickled its way across to Charger as well. And man, they look awesome, muscular.
Good looking car. As I said, if I were considering a sedan, I think I would think pretty strongly about this right now. It's a good looking car, definitely performs. Out on the road course there, they actually have ride-along programs, and you can see how well they handle at speed. So I think it's a well-rounded performance car. It's not just straight line. We're drag racing, of course, on Woodward, but that's the kind of car that you might be able to get into a canyon. I don't know how aggressively you can get into a canyon, but you could probably take it around Angeles Crest or something like that back in LA and have some fun with it.
I got to say, people cross-shop Chargers alongside BMWs and Mercedes now. They're that good. Something you could not have said until this modern time.
Right. Very good looking car.
Taking a little lull in the action, did you know that Woodward Avenue was first paved in 1909? And July 4th was the year or the date of that. 1 mile in concrete, and the first traffic light appeared in 1916. Who knew? And of course, the very first street race ever occurred quite a long time ago, actually. That would have been in 1897, according to the Detroit Free Press. Yes, 1897, 2 vehicles lined up on Woodward Avenue and had a street race. It's a complete record.
55 Chevy of Sean Fink in the right lane. Sean Fink, a drag and drive participant. I met Sean years ago when I did Hot Rod Magazine's Drag Week. Sean had a little wagon. I want to say it was a Vega. I don't recall exactly. It might have been a Vega wagon, but he's been at it for a long time. Now in a 55 Chevy. He's been nice Sean's going to power through that tire span and get to the other side.
Yeah, when you see smoke that's white like that, that's tire smoke. When it's a little darker, that's clutch smoke. But that's the kind of smoke you don't mind seeing because you'll be back for the next round without maintenance.
Absolutely. That's a powerful, powerful car right there. Joe Barry, of course, Tom, those cars are just insanity. And to see him out here competing on this street course like this is pretty wild.
A couple of turbo Mustangs right here. Of course, the telltale is the little exhaust outlet in front of the tire. Kind of a bit of a twist. Of course, the white Mustang, look at that front fender on top of it. That little black button, that's radio delete plate. Yep, that's a factory item. Kind of cool. The button delete for the antenna.
Should be a good drag race here. Right lane with the win. Stretched out, there's your gap.
Here's that crazy S10 with the nose high stance. The suspension attitude, sometimes people say that having the nose up like that preloads the tires before you even move. Others say it's better to have the car rise up and then dump the weight on the tail. We'll see how that works out.
Well, at this point, as we start to kind of learn and know who's who, he's up against a stout competition.
Yeah, let's take a ride inside with our handy GoPro cameras inside these two as they make their way down the track. Again, exclusive right here at Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge on Motor Trend. And I hope they have the camera tilted downward on that S10.
I just hope they have the cameras secured because sometimes when these cars launch, the camera shoots up to the headline.
Right.
It's interesting to see who works harder in these laps. Some guys actually a little more aggressive on the wheel, and then some of them it's just like a Sunday drive, almost driving it with one hand. That's a great shot there. Here's the run here. Left together, but again, the dart, as I was saying earlier, it's one of these things now, as time is progressing, these cars are a lot of laps at this point. It's becoming sort of evident on who you think might be appearing in these shootouts. The dart, not to be any type of a betting person, but it's looking good. That's really a rat rod. It's just kind of a little rodish type of truck, but move down.
5.7 Hemi, or actually Gen 3 Hemi. In the Dodge Brothers pickup. Speaking of pickup trucks, a Dakota SLT, not an RT, but again, big slicks on the back, so undoubtedly a V8 of some kind. It says Dakota, I guess it's
Dakota Sport. Yeah. Dakota Sport.
These are tough little trucks. I love the way it has sort of the wide body effect. kind of like a BMW M3 of the 80s, but that was stock on all these Dakotas and sort of a wide body before a wide body.
Dakota for its period qualified as mid-size truck?
It did. It was the right size Dodge. A year ago, Dakota was coming back. Dodge was a leader in the mid-size pickup truck market with the Dakota back in the late 80s.
Mid-size truck with a factory V8.
Yeah.
Interesting.
318s and 360s.
Got the train rumbling through again. So we're going to have a little pause in the action as the freighter makes its way.
Now I got to say, sometimes Amtrak rolls through here, and you got to wonder. The folks on that train wonder what did I just see as they roll through here with cars drag racing. In fact, I remember a couple of years ago, Matt Hagan and Leah Pritchard were lined up in the Fuel Funny car, the Fuel Dragster, and the Amtrak comes through here, and those people must have wondered, what the heck is that? So this is wonderful. Only once a year right now, Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge. Try this any other time, well, you might spend the night in jail. But this is awesome.
This is totally awesome. If you're watching on the internet, check this out on Motor Trend YouTube. You need to get yourself here to Roadkill Nights. Motor Trend presents Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge on Woodward Avenue. Make it a destination. You know, the summer is all about going on vacation and taking trips and seeing things. If you're an automotive enthusiast, performance enthusiast, a hot rodder, put it on your list. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. The 1320 chick is in the Mustang.
Which Mustang?
Aggressive burnout. Okay, I'm sorry. The later model Mustang. I'm sorry.
Now those cars.
The S550 Mustang.
Yeah, those have independent rear suspension until you go this way. That's a kind of timing.
Both of them quick. The turbo power, turbocharge came on strong at top end.
Old school Mopars here.
Here's the replay of the top end finish. That is an Amtrak, actually, Steve. There's your Amtrak.
Wave to the passengers.
Here's the replay. Top end, the turbocharged coupe. Got there first.
I've taken Amtrak from Los Angeles to New York City a couple times. It's about 3.5 days, but the things you'll see looking out the windows, I will guarantee you won't see this anywhere else.
The sound of a passenger train simultaneously.
Yep. There's probably as much horsepower between some of the cars on this track as there is in that locomotive.
Actually, fantastic to see this happen right now. Wow.
68.
Complete full gap there. Nothing to see, pretty much. That's a fast car.
Yeah,
there's the arm drop. There's a look at it again. Just checked out from the start. You know, again, talking about traction. Some people that we've seen have had it from jump one since we started doing this morning and had no issues with traction. And it's been interesting to watch those that have fought it a little bit start to get it managed and come around. So by the end of this, that was the top end look right there. That thing was flying.
Yeah, it's about 3 school buses right there, AJ?
53 feet. Tractor trailers.
Amtrak has passed through. We can now resume the staging lanes and the free flow of race cars. Less race cars here on Woodward Avenue, which is a public road ordinarily. I think a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit here, so few folks here are going to get tickets for going 140 and a 45.
100 miles an hour on that. I'm just thinking more about the passengers in that train. They're probably headed straight to the club car now. It's like, look, I need a double gin and tonic.
What did I just see? A couple of Chargers getting ready to pull up to the bleach box or the water box, whatever you want to call it. And the whole thing about bleach and racing, in the mid-'70s, drag racers realized if you put a little bleach into the water to a burnout, most of his top fuel dragsters, they would get a big white billowing cloud of tire smoke, and the bleach kind of added to that. So that's where the term comes from. But I think here we're just using straight water, which is just as good.
So it was aesthetics more than any type of efficiency.
And fire burnouts were a big deal in the early 70s too, like Don Garlics. They just put a little gas down, light it up. Of course, a little spooky. You don't want to have the engine conk out in the fireball. That happened a few times, but that was purely for looks. But great camera fluid.
Barbecue.
Barbecue, I like that. Yeah, a couple of Hellcat Chargers right here. Wide bodies. Is that a Hellcat? I got to see the
I'm
fender.
trying to see the badging there too, yeah.
Blue Hellcat, green 392.
392.
Oh, no, they're both 92s. See, we're about 100 feet away, so we're squinting to see it. But yeah, those are both 92s. There you see the front fender. So no cat. These are naturally aspirated 6.4s. These still haul butt. These are 12-second cars.
This
on a
is
quarter.
really cool. Now you don't know who has nitrous injected on it either. Naturally aspirated shootout. The arms drop. Spinning tires. Both cars spinning tires very aggressively. Left lane. Pulling away, and the top end is the left lane with the
Automatic transmissions. These have the 8-speed torque flight. No manual trannies in Chargers. Although some prototypes were built, I've seen them, but they didn't make production. Oh well.
Now, to your point about these cars being somewhat compatible to your canyon driving, etc., like a BMW. Imagine with a stick shift like a BMW. That'd be more fun to drive.
A couple of bow ties here. We have the factory lightweight Colorado pickup with the chemically milled front bumper. In other words, road salt. But again, it's kind of a sleeper. It's not as fast as it could be, but it runs well enough. Of course, a little Chevy Nova in white. Definitely a honker. Good power.
Well, that Colorado is driving with a stick. There you go. You would think that some of the participants in this program are here just to go down Woodward Avenue in their car. You know, no.
Say they did it.
To say they did it.
Right, without getting a
to say
ticket.
they did it. And I think that's just as cool as someone who's out here to win the big prize, too. You know what I mean? Just being able to come out and do it and be part of this is just so awesome. You know, it really, honestly, a little bit envious. You know, I'd like to be able to take these headphones off and have my car here and run it down Woodward Avenue.
So it's next year, but we would miss you. Stick around. We need you to announce booth.
The Belvedere going against the Roadkill.
First and a second generation B-body right there.
Belvedere goes through first. That was a good race.
B-body platform, of course, the mid-size platform from Dodge and Plymouth. Never a Chrysler B-body in the 60s. I always wondered what that would be like as a rerun. Look at the nose bobbing on that. That's good weight transfer. These are both leaf spring cars. Yeah, leaf springs work just fine. In fact, the Mopar, the Direct Connection catalog sells a bunch of leaf springs for your application on your retro hot rod.
Just an edge with the Belvedere at top end. That was a good drag race. I want to call that I want to call it a Rhodolite because it doesn't have any type of a badge or the Roadrunner sticker on it or anything to let me know what it is. You know? Mike Corsilli's got it figured out. Mike Corsilli, if you remember, people that might have watched the videos or remember Mike from last year, did a full burnout on this track. It was no traction whatsoever, and he's very happy about it. He's excited about it. He's one of the guys that like to be here. But now he's got power managed pretty well, and he's getting down the track impressively. I don't know. Maybe he could be one of the 8 when it all washes out.
Duster with the Motown whistle, sort of, a little strobe effect, and a old school 454 big block Camaro with a couple of Hollies up on top there, the tunnel ram intake. Nitrous in the Duster versus naturally aspirated.
In-car camera, great shot there. Slapping the shifter there, a little flick of the wrist there in the Camaro, and you see him going through gears. Now notice the reverse pattern shifter. His valve body it's manually shifted, but you go backwards instead of forward as far as shifting. That's a great shot to see what a driver's doing while they're racing. And here's the run. Again, hopping up, it's a bunny hop type of launch out of the second-gen Camaro on the left lane.
And often that reverse pattern is about shifting away from neutral rather than toward it, which could be a boo-boo on the track.
Absolutely. Great shot from inside the car.
Just in case you wanted, a 37 Chevy kind of a gasser in the far lane. Cool bow ties. Yeah, tomorrow at this time, there'll be hundreds of cars every 10 minutes going up and down this road, but not right now. Let's go with Christy Lee with Ashton Munez for a quick interview and see what's cooking. Christy Lee?
Here with Dodge Challenger brand manager, Ashton Munoz. It's so good to see you again. We just ran into each other not too long ago at the Clarkston Union, which if you live in Michigan, which most of you do, is not that far from here. It's great seeing you again.
Awesome place. Great seeing you. Thanks.
All right. It's always good to be here. Let's talk about this car behind us here. This is not just any Challenger. This is a really cool
So this is our Hemi Orange package. It's built off the Scat Pack. It's appearance package. We combined all the black and orange things we kind of had, some new pieces too on the stripe. It's just our kind of really cool combo that you could do from the factory of what we thought was cool. We launched it last Halloween, so it was very fitting. I mean, what other brand can launch a Halloween-themed car? Our Scat Pack is like our most popular model, so we wanted to give those people, we have the jailbreak, you've been talking about that all day. You can unlimited customizations basically, but the Scat Pack is kind of the heart and value of the market. It's our Hemi Orange package, orange calipers, black and orange badges, front and rear, this really cool black and orange barcode side over the top stripe. And we did a bunch of stuff in the interior too that you really can't do aftermarket. So like all the
let's go. Let's take a look. Come on. Let's take a closer look.
Super cool. All orange stitching throughout the doors, dash, seat, steering wheel, shifter boot. And it's got a